It's that time of the offseason when we talk about Brandon Aiyuk trade rumors. What's up? Welcome to Huddle Up. We're your hosts, Grant Cohn, Maj Sports. Nick talks Niners. There was a big trade today. The Cowboys traded for George Pickens. Now, the Steelers might need a wide receiver, so we're going to talk about how that affects the Niners. Gabe Davis got cut. There's a bunch of defensive ends who are available. There's some offseason position battles, and I want to ask Nick and Maj if they think the Niners are going to make the playoffs based off what they've done this offseason. Before we get into it, I want to acknowledge our sponsor for this week, Factor. Eating well has never been this easy. Just heat up and enjoy, giving you more time to do what you want. Get outside instead of prepping and cooking indoors. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals. Choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Get started at factormeals.com/Cohn50off and use code Cohn50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Cohn50off at factormeals.com/Cohn50off, 50% off plus free shipping. George Pickens with the Cowboys. Steelers. No longer like that transition. Steelers.
Really good.
Need it. They wanted Brandon Aiyuk in the past. You know the Niners would love to trade him. Should the Niners call up Pittsburgh and be like, yo, you needed wide receiver. We got one for you. What do you think?
No.
Nick, you can go first. Yeah. No.
I just think we're too past this point. Like, what are they going to offer us? The late
I don't
round
care.
pick swap that they're going to send or trade with.
So you guys are lukewarm on this? All right, let me sell it to you. Let me see if I can get you guys more excited about this because you guys both gave me like
I was excited about the factor, not really about this. You know what I mean?
You were excited. Fair.
Yeah.
Factor's a factor. Here's the way I look at this. Another way to approach this topic. Is Brandon Aiyuk one of the top 5 worst contracts in football?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Not now. Now that all these wide receivers are getting paid so much money, it was before, but now not so much.
I mean,
I think it's one of the worst contracts in football. It's not as bad as Deshaun Watson, but he wasn't a number 1 wide receiver necessarily before he got paid. Then he got paid. Then he got hurt. And I wonder if he's even going to be a number 2 wide receiver when he comes back.
You don't think Aiyuk was our number 1 receiver when he got paid? I thought
he was
the
the number 1 receiver, but like, was he a true number 1? I mean, he wasn't the guy that
Aiyuk was a top 10 wide
really
receiver.
Game planning to stop. That was Debo and Christian.
Aiyuk was a top 10 wide receiver when he got paid. Arguably, I thought he was a number 8 wide receiver in the league. Like I thought he was that good.
Yeah, for 1 year. But I mean,
you're right.
But
you're right.
I mean, you're saying that based on like the Niners would have had to guess him blowing out his knee. Like,
yeah.
And just because
I didn't think it was the worst contract in football when they gave it to him. But now that he blew out his knee and it's really like not just the ACL, MCL, and meniscus. I mean, when he comes back this year, will he be better than Juwan Jennings, or will he be the number 3? He could be the most expensive number 3 receiver in football.
I love Juwan Jennings, but he's gonna be better than Juwan. And
yes.
I love Juwan, but he's gonna be better than Juwan.
I mean, I don't think he was better than Juwan in those first 6 games before he went down last year. He looked disinterested.
I mean,
he did
a little bit, but you have to get back into the swing of things. I mean, he missed all of off-season training. Like, I mean,
which I didn't like that though. I felt like he should have just signed
that line that John Lynch said the other day. He's like, it's kind of tough sometimes with football because it's like, do they really love football? This is what with Chris Sims' podcast. Do they really love football, or do they love the money and the things that money can get you that football provides? And I'm not getting in Aiyuk's head. It's just all of a sudden he went from being the most driven player, I thought, to being like a guy who seemed disinterested and posting on TikTok and YouTube all about like the next Lamborghini he's bought.
Yes.
And it's like, man, is that what John Lynch is talking about? Like, because we all thought he was the most like head to the ground grinder. And I feel like, I don't know, like that's why I feel like if Pittsburgh wanted to take him, like I would trade him for a 6th round pick. But I mean, maybe that's extreme. Maybe he comes back, makes a full recovery, and I look stupid and get fired as the virtual GM of this team.
No, I do agree with you though, Grant. I do agree. I was saying that before. I said right when he signed his contract, he could just tell in interviews. It kind of looked like he did not want to be there. And then now he's posting him buying all these cars. Like, I don't know. I do kind of see that, but I think when he comes back, he'll be good. I believe in Aiyuk.
I mean, he was really good before he went down.
He was. And you're basically saying, Grant, that you'd trade him for Junior Bergen.
Maybe not Junior Bergen, but like Marquise Siegel.
Yeah, but even Marquise Siegel was like a 5th round, right? We didn't
But
have
it's
a
like,
6th
look,
round.
they spent their first pick in the draft, their first offensive pick in the draft on a wide receiver.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't think Ayuk's going to be on this team in 2026. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misreading the situation, but I think they wanted to trade him before they gave him $23 million. They couldn't. And now it's like, are you just going to hold on to him and give him more money because you've sunk a bunch of money? Like, it's that you don't fall for the
It's
sunk cost
possible.
fallacy, right? You got to just move on if you want to.
I mean, it's possible. But like you're telling me Pickens isn't going to want like more than Aiyuk?
Yeah.
That's what you think?
This whole
Didn't they
conversation,
make
I don't know.
Ayuk an offer last year, Pittsburgh? Weren't they
Yes.
interested?
Hey, this
Yeah.
is the one thing I
Ayuk
don't
isn't
understand.
Pickens. Like Pickens is a knucklehead. Ayuk isn't a knucklehead.
Yes. This is the one thing I don't understand, though. Why didn't the Steelers just do the deal last year? We could have done Ayuk for Pickens and a pick. That would probably be
Because
better than
Kyle
what they got right
Shanahan
now.
burst into the front office literally and put a stop to it. He was going to be a Steeler.
No,
Can
but
you
Pickens
imagine?
wasn't going to be a Niner.
Yeah.
No.
Because can you imagine that? Kyle would kill him.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
No.
But
That would
Grant,
not
what's your whole opinion on this deal? Do you think Dallas won? Do you think the Steelers won the deal? Because I think the Steelers won this deal, and I know that might
Tell me
shock
why.
some of you guys.
Why?
Because first of all, Pickens is a diva, man. The guy's a diva. He's a cancer in the locker room. And secondly, I think they only got Pickens for a 1-year rental because how are they going to pay Pickens after this year? How? They have no money.
Yeah.
Pickens is going to want
It
to
seems
beg
like the
too.
Steelers are a franchise that cares about culture, and the Cowboys kind of aren't. And if the Steelers give up on you, like they give up on Deontay Johnson, they were right.
Exactly.
We've watched George Pickens do knucklehead stuff for years. And if it doesn't work with Mike, like we saw what Antonio Brown was like with Mike Tomlin and then without Mike Tomlin. So, yeah, I mean, I think like the Cowboys don't really care. They take on these projects. They don't know what they're doing. They traded for Trey Lance. They didn't know why. Like,
that's why this guy's going to be a
serious
1-year
organization.
rental. He's going to be a 1-year rental because we all know Pickens.
But what are the Steelers going to do? Like, forget the Cowboys, forget Pickens. What are the Steelers going to do? They got DK Metcalf and Robert Woods, who's been washed for 5 years. He signed a 1-year, $2 million deal. They got to be in the market for a wide receiver, which is why I'm coming back to Aiyuk. Like, he should have been a Steeler. You know it.
He should have, but Grant, did you see who the Steelers are interested in now because of maybe
probably
A-Rod?
Gabe Davis,
Allen Lazard? They're interested in Allen
Lazard.
Yeah. I did see that this morning.
I thought they should have.
I just want to say one more thing because I couldn't sell you guys on this at all. I tried my best, and I respect how you guys stood your ground. June 1, I think, is an interesting date. The Niners can't trade Brandon Aiyuk before June would because all of a sudden it would cost them like 30 of their 47 million in cap space, and they need that for various things like Brock Purdy's edging or whatever. So June 1, they could trade him. They could trade Trent. I wonder if the Niners will make a big, shocking blockbuster move. But if they do, it's going to happen June 2. That's the day to watch.
Or on the chalk cam.
Sorry, that happens.
Grant, I think. Listen, Grant, I just don't think this is going to happen. I think Ayuk's a Niner. I think we all like. He's a Niner.
Do you think Aiyuk will be a Niner in 2026?
I don't. Yeah, probably. Grant, I think he's a Niner. He's a Niner. Sadly, he's a Niner. But it's not even sadly. It's just his contract. He's got to play up to his contract.
Yeah. You heard when Juszczyk was talking about the core members of the team after they got rid of Greenlaw. He was like, "Man, we still got our core. We got Trent. We got Kittle. We got Jawan. Got Fred. He didn't mention Brandon, but Brandon was golfing with the team recently, so maybe he's back in the core. I don't know.
That was a good sign. That was golfing with the
team. That and what if like I think he just forgot. Like, what do you think? Kyle's going to Juice and it's like, yeah, we're gonna trade Aiyuk. So if you have an interview, leave him out of it. Like, bro, what?
Yeah,
I think Juszczyk kind of runs the team. I mean, maybe Trey Lance would have been the quarterback if Juszczyk hadn't vetoed it.
Juice was almost not on this team, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's move on. Wide receiver got cut today. Gabe Davis. He previously had one of the worst contracts in the league. He was pretty good for Buffalo. I mean, in the sense that like he can block and he can run deep and catch a Hail Mary. He doesn't really run a route tree, but he's a good, he is what he is. And I don't know what the Jaguars thought they were getting, but they gave him a lot of money to be someone he's not, and then they cut him, and now he's available. Do you think the Niners should sign him? And real quick, before you answer, just know that John Feliciano tweeted a few hours ago that he'd be perfect for the 49ers. John said it.
I think because John said it, I think we got to listen to him. I think we have
it's
to,
John.
right? Yeah, we have to. I don't know. I think if we sign him for cheap, I wouldn't mind it. Otherwise, it's Gabe Davis in 2025. Like, I don't know. He's nothing special. Like, what did he have? Like 200 yards with the Jaguars?
Yeah,
it was really
20
bad.
catches, like 240 yards. Or
like, that's really bad. That's really bad. So I don't know if I'd want.
I like Gabe Davis.
Of course you do.
Hot take.
Of course you do.
Say why.
I mean, the only thing that worries me is like Grant last show, you were talking crap about Brock's like deep ball.
When does Grant not talk about
like,
Brock's deep ball?
Yeah, like
when he's better fit with someone like Josh Allen.
Yeah, 100%.
He had a 98-yard catch in 2022.
Yeah, but also it's like I just think he'd fit like well with our receiving core. Like even when I gets back, I just think he kind of adds something like he's kind of got a similar body type Juwan, but he's not like necessarily as good of a contested catch player. But
he's a deep threat. But Purdy can't throw deep.
I mean, but we've seen Purdy throw deep.
Yeah, but like, when he throws deep,
it's not like this guy is a noodle arm in my head.
When you say throw deep, it's like 25, 30 yards down the field. It's not.
Don't act like he can't throw 50 yards.
I mean, he can. It's not like something that he does often.
Nick, the most perfect example, if we got Gabe Davis, you know, you're going to know the play. Remember the play against the Chiefs to Cowing? That should have been a touchdown. But because Purdy's arm isn't the strongest, it stopped Cowing from getting a touchdown, and we didn't even score on that play.
Let's make the case for Gabe real quick. So what he is 26, and he's a deep threat. He averaged 16 yards a catch in his career. He had about seven touchdowns a year before he went to Jacksonville. And with the Niners, it's like, they got Pearsall and Jennings, who are a good, good number 2 receivers. Aiyuk's coming back. You don't know when. Demarcus Robinson's here, but he could get suspended, probably will be suspended. And he's getting old, and he's like a number 3 at best. And you got Cowing and Watkins. So the number 3 receiver is going to be an open battle anyways. And this guy could be, he could win it. And he might be cheap.
And outside of Juwan, why do they all have the same body type? They're all like skinny.
They all are
5'11", kind of skinny. Wow. Gabe Davis is big. He's kind of like Juwan, like a deep threat version of Juwan. He blocks like Juwan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm here for it.
This is why Feliciano was here for it. He's got that dog in him.
He does.
I'm here for it.
I wouldn't mind it just for cheap, not what he signed with the Jaguars.
And if you're not going to invest in your offensive line, surely we get some more wide receivers.
That's true.
I mean, just get the ball and throw it as fast as possible. Boom, offensive line taken care of. Who needs it?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they just signed DJ Humphries, so they're set, right? I mean, what can't DJ Humphries do?
I don't think DJ Humphries can get off the couch.
You think it's that bad? Like, hold on, let's give him a break. Like, is he not the Dre Greenlaw of offensive linemen? Like, he got injured in week 18 of 2023, and he couldn't really do anything in 2024. Is his career over? Sure. Maybe.
I would be shocked if he starts. If he starts and looks good, I'd be shocked.
Yeah, it's true. Because he looked
terrible. Our offensive line is that bad, so I actually wouldn't be surprised at all. That would not surprise me.
Yeah, but I mean, where is he gonna play?
Left tackle. Did you know?
Yeah, he's replacing Trent.
This is news to me.
I'm still on the Trent Williams conspiracy theory train. I don't understand what's going on with him or why he won't.
Grant, I think you're looking too.
Grant,
you're looking too much into that. You're looking too much into that just because he's not posting on Instagram. Maybe, man, the guy's got kids, no? So he's probably spending time with the kids. I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I think you're
just look. They made a video of OTAs, and they said that everyone was there except for Kittle. But then Kittle came, and they made a video of everyone working out. Kittle was in the video. Freaking everyone you could think of. Purdy was in the video. Trent wasn't, but they said he was there. Why would Trent? If Trent were at OTAs, don't you think the Niners would make a big deal about it and take a bunch of pictures and put it on their website and be like, "Look who's here!"
Maybe. But you're telling me that they knew Trent Williams was retiring and they didn't.
I'm not saying he's retiring. I'm not saying he's retiring. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they could trade him on June 2. Maybe.
But either way, either way, if they knew anything outside of he's playing the entire year, you're telling me they're not going to draft a tackle in the draft?
Maybe they tried. I mean, they said they tried to move up to the 8th pick, right? They couldn't get it done. Then when then at 11, Kelvin Banks was gone.
There was tackles to be had, and if they really wanted to, they could have traded up.
Those are tackles better than DJ Humphries? DJ Humphries is a first-round pick.
You could have taken Anthony Belton. You could have. I mean, they could have even gotten Holland Pierce as an.
Will Holland Pierce have a better season in 2025 than Sir DJ?
Well, I mean, Holland Pierce is on the Eagles, so if he has a better season,
I'm saying, like, if they felt they needed an offensive tackle who could play day one, maybe once the 3 guys were off the board, they were like, you know what, we'll just go with DJ Humphries.
No,
I know this doesn't really hold up very well. I'm not really even making myself convinced right now. I'm just trying to, throw it out there. Yeah. Drewish guy says, I think it's cool you stream with your kids the way your dad's.
Everyone like, Grant, I'm not joking. Everyone like, I'm a kid, but everyone thinks Nick is like the same age as me.
Yeah, it's because I look so young, bro.
You're not?
I'm 26, dude. I'm almost 27. Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were both 19. No, I knew Nick was older.
I'm a 90s kid. It's actually bad.
Okay. When were you born, Maj? Damn, what's that makes
2005.
Dude, I have 7 years on Maj.
I was born 2005.
I didn't do the math. That's rough, man.
Wow.
I was a senior in high school when you were born. Okay.
He's got got over a foot on me too.
Okay, so Gabe Davis, you guys were kind of into that. Defensive end. So let me paint the picture here. There's a bunch of defensive ends who are available. There's always defensive ends available. It's an important position, but it's an abundant position because it pays.
Yeah.
Mykel Williams was recently. Well, there was Albert Brewer was talking about Mykel Williams, and he said that Mykel Williams said that in their 30 visit, they asked him where he feel more comfortable. Why can't I talk? Most comfortable on third down in the Super Bowl. Most important play of the season. He said over the guard. Kind of interesting. So if that's the case, and he's going to be like more of an interior rusher on third down, someone who's working in tandem with Bosa, should they go get another edge rusher? And if so, like, how about someone like Clowney, Jadeveon?
I wouldn't mind that. Is it like name some? What are some defensive ends?
Clowney, Carl Lawson, Von Miller. Those are 3.
Not Von Miller. That guy's old. I don't want.
I feel like Carl Lawson would be cheap, and he's always been solid.
I mean, yeah, maybe. The only reason why I'd want Von Miller is like that guy would teach Mykel 100 things in day one.
But
yeah,
like,
he'd be great. Play. I just feel like would he come to the 49ers to ring chase? Maybe.
No, because we're not going to win a ring.
Yeah.
So he would not come here. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really looked into defensive ends. I've just been hyped for Mykel Williams. That's the only thing I've been really looking at for our defensive ends right now. That's it. Like I wouldn't mind.
Need anything.
Is he a defensive end though? Is my question. Is he like, because they keep saying like, man, this dude is the best edge setter. What an edge setter. Okay, sure, love that. Is he an edge rusher or is he an interior rusher? Or is he both?
He's gonna be an edge rusher. But also, I think it's getting like kind of not taken out of context, but moved with context, because he's saying he's more comfortable right now. You know what I mean? So maybe a year in the system, a year around Nick Bosa, like who's to say next year he's going to be like, oh, I feel so comfortable on the outside. Like, I know I said that I'd rather be over a guard, but now
if he is more comfortable rushing from the interior and he's good at it, is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing.
No,
but like I said, when we had our first stream after the draft, like, I want him to be able to do that, but I also want him to be comfortable rushing outside.
Because he's still going to be playing on the outside on first and second down, and you want a pass rush threat on first and second down from the edge. Like, it used to kill me when Salah would put Armstead at D end. It's like, and I would talk to him about it. It's like, yeah, man, he's going to shut down the run, but he gives you no pass rush, absolutely none, and he can't even contain the quarterback in the pocket. Like, he's a flat out liability against the pass from that position. He didn't listen. I tried to tell him. D'Amico got it though. Got him the hell out of that. I don't understand. Anyway,
I just think all the 3 guys that you named, aren't they pretty old? Like, I want to stay away from the old guys right now. I want to keep this team young.
I feel like the old DN, you can always get like 1 year. You know what I mean? No,
Maybe one. I don't
Fred Dean
know.
back in the day. You don't remember Fred Dean, but the Niners first
No.
Niners championship, Fred Dean.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm too young for that.
You guys know what? Never mind.
Yeah, even I'm too young for that.
So
I was like
you'd rather
a
have
year old, I
Gabe
think.
Davis than Von Miller. I would sign Carl Lawson. Carl Lawson, we probably get him for like $3 million, $2 million. He's
If we get an older guy for cheap, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. Why not? Like, why not?
He had 5 sacks last year.
Like, teach these guys. Why not? Right? And we have Uturgos Matos. Maybe they can I'm excited to see what Uturgos Matos can do. I don't know why. Like, that 3-sack game he had against the Bears, ever since that, I've just been I've been high on Uturgos Matos. I hope he comes in this season and cooks, but we'll see.
His cap number is almost 10 million. So I feel like he's going to have a role if he's healthy. He's probably going to be on the field on third down at minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I'm excited to see what he can do.
I mean, theoretically, they could do some type of like fast NASCAR package with him and Michael at D tackle on 3rd and 10. I don't know if they'll do that though. I feel like
that'd be sick. But can we also talk about like is Drake Jackson making a return, Grant?
Ooh.
Oh, thank you. We should talk about Drake Jackson.
I feel like he made that video like kind of like talking about you.
Hey man, I don't have anything against Drake Jackson. I hope he comes back. It just, I mean, the Niners have had a tough time with these players with the patella tendon injuries. I'm not a doctor. I mean, I hope he defies the odds. It seems like he'd have to defy the odds.
I did too. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Drake Jackson, the only thing I can think about him is that 3-sack game against the Steelers. Like he's just been injured all the time.
I mean, 2 of those sacks were handed to him.
That's but yeah, he did mention haters in his post, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I was thinking like, does he have one hater in the world?
No, 100%.
I Jackson being like, man, I hope he doesn't do well. Like, I don't understand.
I don't think I've ever met someone that doesn't
preying
like
on his downfall. I don't think anyone is.
No
But
one
if he needs if he needs the idea of haters to fuel him in like his rehab, then hey man, I'll be your biggest hater. Because I mean,
let's be honest though, there's always those people on the internet. Like I guarantee there's somebody in his DMs that like says they're a Niner fan and is just a horrible human telling him to like, do the craziest things to himself. So I mean,
I get probably that too. So maybe I should just dedicate everything I do in life to the haters. You know what I mean? Like this lunch right here is for you guys. Didn't think I could do it. You guys,
this factor lunch. Come on now.
All right, let's do some prize picks because it's NHL season and it's NBA season. Curry's down, hurt his hamstrings, probably going to miss 3 games. So let's make some like Curry-less prize picks and try to figure out who's going to. We'll start with Buddy Hield because this guy's been on fire. I think the last game
points is his
it was at
9.5
last game. Now it's at 15.
That's more.
33 the other night, 24 game 1, and you're telling
me they need him to shoot.
Yeah.
That's more.
Curry's out.
More. That's a lock.
That's free as air. That's so free.
Okay, I would agree with that. Pods has been kind of cold recently. Yeah, 12.5 for him. Look at
3 points.
Yeah, I'd take the over.
Okay, on the road,
dude. They have to shoot. I don't care if they're getting blown out by 40. They're gonna have to shoot.
That's a good call. Let's go. Draymond went freaking crazy in the last game as a scorer. Let's see where they have him at.
Yeah.
Did they make double
hit like
digits?
3 threes
Go up a little bit.
Did I miss it?
Which is right there.
Where?
Yeah, 10.5.
10.5. 10.5.
18. Go more.
Jeez, you guys think the Warriors going to win, huh?
I actually have a feeling the Warriors are going to win. I don't even watch basketball, but I just have a feeling
there's something about they just having to, like with Curry out, you don't have a choice anymore. Like you're shooting backpack threes, Draymond.
Yeah, 100%.
What about that white backup point guard, Spencer? Is he in here? No.
Dude, that guy is so funny.
Did you know that he was the #1 lacrosse player in the world in the country?
That does.
And he just took on like basketball as a side hobby.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's the guy that played lacrosse. He was like, yeah, I saw that. That's insane.
Where did he play?
6.5 assists for Butler. Hold on, let me look it up. What's his first name?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
I did see him,
Pat Spencer. He went to. Hold on.
Like he was a top
Northwestern.
That's crazy.
#1 lacrosse player in the country. That's pretty dope.
I watch a bunch of college lacrosse.
Jimmy Butler. I like the assist though. 6.5. I feel like he's definitely gonna beat that again because he's now their primary playmaker. No,
Probably. Yeah.
No?
Go more.
or less.
Yeah,
Go more.
No, I
Because
do
I feel like he
that.
hasn't been super aggressive as a scorer recently.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
with Curry out, they're probably going to double team him too.
All right, and then let's get Anthony Edwards.
Oh, he's gonna pop off.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so bad in the last game, but he's
Yeah,
gonna score. He's
I
gonna
had
take he's gonna take hella shots.
But
And
now
Grant,
with
I
Curry
had
out,
his PRA. I had his PRA.
What does that mean?
His points, rebounds, assists. It was 49.5, and he finished with 48. He finished with 48, and he literally had 1 point in the first half. Didn't even hit a bucket. He made one free throw, bricked the other one. Unreal.
Interesting. What about Julius Randle? He's kind of weak. But they score.
I don't know.
He's
I always
cooking.
say Julius Randle's a meth head on the court. Like, this guy actually does the dumbest basketball moves you'll ever see in your life.
18 points at
Go
19.
more.
What do you think?
Go more.
I mean, just look
More.
at how he's smiling at you. In that
Yes.
picture.
Like, you already know he's gonna draw
When you
more.
put it that way. All right. Hold on. There we go. Does the lineup?
You know,
Beauty.
Yep. Use promo code Cohn. See, it's on the thing. Get COHN and play 5 and get 5 instantly. That's how we do it over at PrizePicks, man. We got so many sponsors on this show. All right.
come on now.
All right, we're getting into rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp is tomorrow. Solid talks, Clay Kubiak talks, Brent Boyer talks. Some players will talk, and then Friday they'll have their first little practice. A couple of weeks they'll have OTAs. It's getting into it. Which offseason battles intrigue you the most this offseason?
I don't know. This is a good question.
Like you're talking,
mean-
you're talking like, are you talking like like when we had like Demo and Ayuk, or are you talking like just strictly that position?
Oh no, I was thinking more like left guard, like the competition there, or like RB2 or wide receiver 3 or D tackle or weak side linebacker or free safety or CB3. Those were the ones.
I think Jordan James and Garendo.
That's what I was just
Be
gonna
a
say.
fun-
That's gonna be
will
a sick
fun battle.
Also,
I-
Kiner too. Like that's another guy who could look good in the offseason. I feel like Garendo's.
Look at Nick's face.
You don't like Kiner?
Dude, it's not that I don't like him. Like, he's a good player and he works hard, I'm sure, but he's just average. He's just a guy. He's just a guy.
Well, I know like Garendo has exciting traits, but God, he's gotten hurt so many times. So if he gets hurt, he'll open it up. Yep.
Yeah, he'll open up. The other one is
I'm excited for wide receiver battles. Like, who's gonna be wide receiver 3?
Yeah.
Who's gonna be?
Yeah.
Someone will
Is
surprise.
Jordan Watkins going to be good? I mean, he's got traits, right? I mean, he killed it at the combine.
Yeah.
I just hope this year we actually play Jordan Watkins. We play these guys. I think we're obligated to play them, but I hope we play these guys, man. Like, that's the thing with Shanahan. He doesn't play as rookies, and that's something that just makes me mad. Like, last year, Jacob Cowing would come into the game. You'd see little like, oh, that was good by Cowing, and then Shanahan would just kick him off to the side, never play him again. So,
and it wouldn't make any sense, right? It wouldn't make any sense. But then we heard what John Lynch said this week on Chris Sims' show. Did you hear that?
No. Read it to me.
About he was like, Chris Sims was like, this was great. Chris Sims was like, hey man, like, does it ever get weird, like tough during the draft when teams call you to try to trade? Like, how does that work? And John's like, oh yeah, man, I have a great story. Like last year,
I saw.
like,
yes.
we were drafting Jacob Cowing, right? And we were in the 4th round, but we really wanted to trade that pick. So it got down to like minute 45.
That was who it was.
Cowing. He just made it seem like they really didn't want Cowing. So we wanted to trade the pick, but we couldn't do it. And there was like a minute 45 seconds left in the round, and it was between Cowing and a linebacker. So Kyle just asked the scouting department to like raise their hands and vote, and it was split 50-50. So we voted 3 times, and eventually Cowing won the vote. We took him with 2 seconds left in the clock. It's like, geez, you didn't really have any conviction on that one, huh? That's what he said on the record.
It'd be one thing if he was like, like a player that doesn't even play for them anymore, or like he's a stud, and like doesn't have to worry about job security or anything. But for him to not play at all, and they do that, is so like, why would you tell that story?
That's something you don't say. I think one thing I'm also excited for this offseason, just to see how much better Pearsall is going to be. Because, like, that's a guy that I'm super high on. I think Pearsall could be like the wide receiver one on this team. I have that much faith, and I'm not saying when Aiyuk comes back, maybe Aiyuk would beat him. I don't know.
Needs to be wide receiver one.
Like
Because Jennings is good, but he's a 2.
He's a 2. That's what I'm saying.
He's a
But Pearsall, the people that hate on Pearsall, that's one thing. That's just it's super annoying because the guy had probably, if not the craziest rookie season I've ever heard in my life. He got shot. He was injured in training camp. Now he has a full offseason of work, and we saw glimpses.
And he had a great finish.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that I loved.
Great.
When we actually started to use him, when Shanahan actually started to use him, I was like, okay, like this guy could be something special. But at the start, we didn't know because Shanahan wasn't using him. But I'm really excited to see what Pearsall can bring to this team. I'm excited.
He's been working out with Brock all offseason. I get the feeling that Pearsall's going to have a big second year. I mean, I think the reason he had such a quiet stretch was, I think it was pretty clear they weren't calling plays for him. They had to get the ball to Debo. There were so many other obligations. Then Debo got phased out, and they wanted to see what they had in Pearsall before going into the offseason. And they saw as a guy who could produce.
Exactly.
Maybe not against the best corners in the league. We'll see.
No.
But yeah, I think he could be.
I still think you got to give him credit,
lead the team in receiving yards this season.
You still got to give him credit. Another offseason battle I'm excited for is safety, because we don't like. Now that Malik Mustafa is injured, this is kind of like a question mark. I do think Siegel's going to start, but I honestly think Siegel's going to start, but I think it's going to be between like Jair Brown and Pennock.
I don't think Siegel's going to start week 1.
You don't think he's going to start week 1? I think he will. I think he will.
He might start by week 8, but we'll see.
You think it's going to be Jair and Pinnock or Richie Grant?
Yeah, I think they like Pinnock. I mean, Saleh drafted Pinnock. I think he'll get the first crack. Hey, man, George Odom was starting last year, wasn't he?
I don't know, but you could buy a Honda Odyssey and park it at the 50-yard line. That'd be a better defender than Jason Pinnock.
Okay, tell the people what you know about Jason.
Dude, watch him play. I don't know, like watch this guy play. He's slow. He's horrible.
He actually had a good year in 2023, by all accounts.
That was his only one. So welcome to the party, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. He's the Brandon Aiyuk of safety. Sorry, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's insane.
That was rough. I didn't mean to say that.
I think I don't know. I
don't think he's a good player.
Who would you rather want, Nick? Jair Brown or Pinnock?
Dude, I'd rather literally go with like, what is it? Austin, or not Austin. What's the guy's name? The practice squad guy. The
Hawkins.
Taylor Hawkins.
Or something like that.
I want to see what he looks like in the competition. It's going to be interesting because him and Siegel have similar traits. Jair Brown is slow. I don't know what Saleh wants to do with him. And then there's Richie Grant, who's more explosive. I mean, I wonder if Saleh goes with, I don't know, Siegel and Grant.
I just feel Siegel's going to Jair.
I almost feel like Saleh's the kind of guy who would want to move Jair Brown to linebacker. Like, he's not the kind of safety.
You know who I'd love to see if it's actually between like, you know, the older guys like the Richie Grants and the Jason Pinnock, I'd rather see them slide Jacob Robinson free safety.
BYU.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what other offs. Hey, Grant, what about quarterback position? Quarterback position battles.
Well, I mean, is that Mac versus Brock, or is that Mac versus Tanner?
No, Mac versus Brock. What if Mac?
If Mac loses to Tanner,
yeah, that's bad.
Just medically retire.
What about cornerback? Like, how's that going to work? Is Upton Stout going to be competing with someone, or are they just going to see if he's ready for the job?
He's too small.
No, it's not. I mean, he's going to be a nickel, right?
Exactly.
So who's going to compete with him there?
No one.
Yeah, no. It seems like if he can do it, they'll make him the nickel and move Lenore outside.
Yeah, we don't have anybody to compete with him unless like somebody like Jacob Robinson. Jacob could play nickel. He's just so athletic.
Or
one thing that scares me. What other outside cornerbacks do we have except for Ronaldo and Demo?
Luter,
Trey Brown. Those are the two.
Yeah, Luter. We got the 3 Treys. We got Trey Brown, Trey Avery, and Trey.
Oh, there's another guy too, right? Tomlinson.
Trey Tomlinson. Yes.
Yeah, they got a bunch of guys.
That's the guy that we got from the Rams. I don't know.
Trey Tomlinson, Trey Brown, and Trey Avery. You got 3 Treys.
We got Chase Lucas. Don't forget about Chase Lucas. Trey Tomlinson, Jacob Robinson, Trey Avery. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think there's going to be a battle for the cornerback
Saran
positions, I
Neal.
think.
Don't forget about Saran Neal either. How dare you forget about Saran Neal? Because he's going to make the
That's
team.
not that's the guy from the Giants, right?
I want to say the Dolphins.
Was it?
The Dolphins.
Dude, that's horrible.
The Dolphins. But he's
For the
like a
offensive-
special teams guy.
Yeah.
For the offensive line, do you guys think there's going to be any battles there? I don't really think so. I think they're probably just going to roll with the same offensive line. Connor Colby,
I think
maybe?
there's going to be a huge battle at left guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. And if
I wouldn't be
mean,
surprised if the Niners have a little platoon between Burford and Barch, like they both play. Remember Burford used to split time with Brunskill? I wouldn't be surprised to do the same thing at left guard.
that would be sick.
Yeah.
If I have to see Jake Brendel get pancaked for 20 snaps a game for the entire
Zakel.
season,
You think Zakel can take that job? He's going to contract.
I would rather have that. I'd literally rather have that. It's horrible. Bro.
The thing I don't
wanna see if
understand.
there's something there with Zakel. Like he's been on the team. You've stuck with them. You've been developing him. Like he moved well at the combine.
Or what about
what's up?
What's the other lineman we drafted last year?
Connor. Oh, this year? Last year?
Last
year.
year.
He's not on the team
Yeah.
anymore. Jared Kingston?
No, there's the other one. It's Kingston and we
Cooney?
drafted it. No. Maybe we got him as an undrafted free agent. There's another one. Why am I spacing?
Oh, Nugent.
Yes. What do you think about Nugent?
I don't have an
He's
opinion
got
on
a
Nugent.
shot? You don't think he's
I
got
don't
a
have an
shot?
opinion on Nugent.
I have a question for both
maybe.
you guys. Why are people so high on Ben Barch? Like, I know he played one good game against the Bills, but like,
Because he played one good game against the Bills.
and did you see his combine interview, dude?
No.
Are you serious? This guy made a protein smoothie that he
Oh,
drinks
with the
every
mustard.
morning with like Gatorade, mustard,
I
eggs.
saw
Like this
that.
guy's
Nasty.
him, bro. No, this guy's him.
I don't know.
Nasty.
If he
I
plays
don't
like
tell
he
you that.
plays in like when he played against the Bills, that'd be awesome. That'd be
20 yards
incredible.
is a Hail Mary for Brock. I just read that. That's
Dave Barkley says 20 yards is a Hail Mary for Brick. We need an arm. Well, get
Grant,
ready
I
for
feel
Connor
like-
Rourke. Dave Barkley says give Brick a lollipop and tell him to get lost. that is so
Grant, I feel
good.
like- I feel like your chat is just so like what your whole chat just
I'm
hates
not
Brock
responsible.
Purdy. You're not responsible for the Brock Purdy hate.
Definitely not responsible. All right. Do you think the Niners will make the playoffs next season after? I mean, most of their moves are done, barring some, dramatic June 1st trade. Think they'll make the playoffs?
I think so.
I think yeah,
I think
like
so. I think they'll be right on the edge. But my question is, do you think if they don't, that Kyle's in trouble, or do you think he's had that talk already with Jed?
yes.
Saying, hey, I just need some time.
Well, doesn't it depend? Like, if they miss the playoffs, wouldn't it depend? Like, why? Let's say they miss the playoffs and Kyle's offense is good, but Salah's defense sucks. Then maybe that's not on Kyle. But what if they miss the playoffs, but Salah's defense is killer, and Kyle's offense
that's how I think it's gonna be.
is a problem? Then it's like, man, maybe
think
you lost it, dude. Maybe you're burnt out.
No, because then Kyle's gonna say, well, I let you guys pick the first 6 picks.
That's true.
you
That's
know?
true. But you don't play rookies anyway, Kyle.
Exactly.
True.
I don't know. I feel like if the Niners don't make the playoffs, that just looks really bad on Brock Purdy. We have the easiest schedule in the league, and you want to get paid that much money, and you can't bring us to the freaking playoffs. Like,
It's not a good look.
No.
So, can we agree that the Rams are the best team in the division right now, on paper?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But hey,
So,
I actually have a
and
question.
would we
for you.
agree that the Seahawks are the worst team in the division on paper?
Yep.
I think the Seahawks are horrible, and I'll stand by that to the day.
Okay.
I die.
So we agree on that. Okay.
Yes.
So that leaves the Niners and the Cardinals. So the Cardinals were 8-9 last year, I believe, and the Niners were 6-11. And the big difference was that the Cardinals beat them twice. Which team do you think has improved more this offseason? Objectively
49ers.
speaking.
Actually, that's actually a tough question because the Cardinals did have a great draft.
They both kind of tried to do the same thing. They both tried to really revamp their defenses.
They did.
I'm gonna say the Niners.
Okay. Why?
I think I'm gonna say the Niners too. Let me search up the Cardinals draft.
Because the
they
Cardinals,
got Salah.
Like that, and
That's big.
And two, the Cardinals, like, they filled holes, right? Like with the defensive line, like they didn't have anybody last year to even like think about getting sacks or really causing pressure. Getting Walter Nolan Obviously, we love the Walter Nolan. I thought that's a great pick, but
Good
outside
fit
of
in that
that,
scheme too.
yeah, it's a good fit too. But outside of that, it's like the Niners got like the Cardinals didn't really get anybody in my mind that plays off of each other. Like they did get Will Johnson, and if that's a boomer bust pick because of the injury. Like
Right.
if it booms, like that's a number one corner. But they
Right.
didn't really get many players that kind of play off each other. Whereas like the Niners got,
Yeah.
a bunch of D line guys.
Run defenders
Like
that'll work together.
they got a linebacker that's specifically tailored to those D line guys. So I just feel like the holes that they filled holes, and they also like filled something where they played together. Whereas like Cardinals was just filling holes, and I think they do have a lot more holes still.
But they did
Let me
ask.
make a case for the Cardinals real quick, Maj, and I'll let you go.
Okay.
The Niners and the Cardinals both tried to revamp their D lines, and they both did a really interesting job. I'm not saying the Niners did better, but the Niners went full rookie, whereas the Cardinals went both. They got Walter Nolan and Jordan Birch, but then they also signed Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson. And Josh Sweat.
So,
you could argue that like right away their D line might be, but I mean the Niners still have Bosa, so it's a tough one. I mean, do the Cardinals have a better D line than the Niners? I don't know. Depends.
I don't think so.
Grant, do you think the Niners are going to make the playoffs?
I don't know. I feel like yes, I feel like they should. I think bringing back Salah is going to help so much. And even though they have a bunch of rookies starting, I think the defense should be good to really good. And then the offense is like, okay, like can Purdy stay healthy? Can Trent stay healthy? Can Christian stay healthy? When's Brandon coming back? Like there's so many questions with the offense. It has all the potential to be elite. It does, but it also has the potential to be a mess.
Yeah, but you know what I'm excited for? Is it can't be a mess.
Yep, it can't.
You know what I mean? Like
right
now we don't have Aiyuk for probably the first I'm gonna say at least probably 5 games if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And then no Debo, right? Like
those are 2 divas.
Can this offense be a mess without people like you asking him in the post game presser about what's going on and him getting talked from Jed? Like he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to get.
And it does seem like they're locked in much more than last year, right? Like they're all being like, we had an awful offseason last year. We need everyone here, and everyone's there essentially, including Trent Williams, theoretically.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to be creative. You know how many times I feel like he was like, "All right, let's get creative." Look down his call sheet, and it was like
nothing.
All of them have Debo in it.
Yeah,
and he just goes back to Debo. So it's like I don't know.
I'm really curious to see his plan for Christian McCaffrey in 2025 because I feel like that plan could make or break the season. If it's, hey, Christian's healthy, we're going to give him 20 carries a game. Like, I don't take this team seriously. But if it's like, okay, hold on, this is an older Christian. We have a new plan for Christian. We're going to give him 10 carries, and maybe 6 of them will be outside the tackles, and we're going to give him 8 targets, and he's going to be important. But the tough yards in September and October, November are going to go to Jordan James or whoever it is. Yeah. If that's the plan, then I think the Niners have a real shot. But Jordan James has to be good. I think he is.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Jordan.
Is he better than Jordan Mason? He doesn't fumble.
I'd love Jordan Mason.
I'm gonna miss Jordan Mason. I do agree with you, Grant. Though I feel like the Niners can't do what they did with CMC. Like right when CMC came back, you could kind of tell he was going he wasn't like you couldn't tell he was gonna get injured, but just the way Kyle Shanahan was using him, we used him way too much. Way too much. So this year, don't use Garendo, use Jordan James. These are 2 guys you guys got. Garendo's injury prone, but Jordan James, I have a really good feeling Jordan James could be something special. Like he had zero fumbles in college, and we all know when they come to the Niners, he's just going to be a fumble machine probably. But I don't know. That's something I really like as well. He's kind of a hard runner. And Grant, you said he didn't have speed. I was watching tape on the guy. He's got speed, man.
I said
You said that last live. Yeah, you said he doesn't have really.
No, I said he doesn't.
You said that.
He's a 4.55 guy. He's not slow.
So then Nick said that. So I don't know. I'm excited.
I mean, what did McCaffrey run? 4.49?
I think so.
But if you watch McCaffrey's film versus Jordan James, they're not even comparable in college.
4.48. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, McCaffrey was one of the craziest things you'll ever watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope so. To your point, I hope they don't run him.
The
into
Cardinals are such an
ground.
interesting test for them because the Cardinals beat them twice last year. And
I think we're better now, though. I think we're a better team.
the
than we
Cardinals
were
have the
last
second best running offense in the league. Like they really do run the ball really well. They averaged 5.3 yards per carry last year.
year. Yeah, but
And
Yeah.
against this
James
defensive line,
Conner's
you think they're
so
going to do that?
tough. Kyler's so quick.
I think this defensive line that we just drafted, I don't think any team is going to run on us. There's no way. No way. You got
Yeah,
CJ
that's another
West,
smart
Alfred
reason.
Collins.
To
I
build
think
the
our
defensive
run-
line that way because you got to
think
face
our-
the Cardinals with that kind of team.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think our run defense is going to be really good. And then on top of it, too, like, I think Nick Martin, like guys like Nick Martin and Upton Stout fit right in with stopping somebody like a Kyler Murray. You know,
I just
Is
think
it
our
unfair
somebody
to write
quick
off
and
the
fast like
Seahawks
that.
because they did beat the Niners once last year, and their defense they have a good defensive coach. I don't know what they're doing on offense, but the offense. I mean, it's
If-
Clint Kubiak.
Dude, if Darnold beats us 2 times a year,
Oh my God. That would, yeah.
That would hurt.
would,
I don't see it happening,
no.
but
No. There's
I
no way
will
that
lose
happens.
full if Darnold beats us 2 times a year.
There's no way he's beating us twice. I don't know. I just feel I do think the Niners. I'm very
So-
optimistic for this.
hold
season.
on. Let's be scientific about it. Let's not be optimistic. So we all agree that the Rams are probably going to win the division. So the Niners are looking at wild card spot most
Okay.
likely. All right. So who do we think the 3 wild card teams are going to be in the NFC off the top of our heads?
Packers.
Probably
Okay,
the
Packers are a good call.
Um,
Packers, Niners,
Packers, Niners.
Washington. That's the thing. The East has Philly and Washington.
Yeah. So probably Washington. Probably Washington.
It's going to be tough. It's not going to be so easy.
It's not going to be
imagine
easy.
the Cowboys miss the playoffs.
Imagine the Lions miss the playoffs. Because I mean, I feel like losing Ben Johnson is going to really hurt them. That's my big bold
Oh
prediction.
my
I think they're
gosh,
gonna
I
take a
just
big
thought
step
about
back.
that. Yeah, so if they take a step back and the
Big step
Bears
back.
take a step up,
And have you guys
So
seen
the
Aiden
Vikings could take a
Hutchinson?
step up. Like the Vikings, they added a bunch of players because they didn't sign Darnold. They added Hargrave and Mason and a couple other guys.
But did you guys see Aiden Hutchinson running on his leg?
Didn't
It
look
does not
great.
look good. It did not look great. I don't know.
I
do.
wouldn't bet on the Lions this year. They kind of
Yeah,
got humiliated, and they still have Jared Goff, and they know he's
But-
not the guy. And then they
but
lost Ben
also-
Johnson. Like, how confident can they be?
but also the Bears were like, you know, acting like they were going to win the Super Bowl last year. So like, I don't.
Yeah, Bears.
Yeah, I don't know if the Bears are going to make the playoffs this year just because they got Ben Johnson. I just feel like the Lions are going to fall
Yeah.
back.
It's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the
It's
Vikings are
there's
still
a-
going to be good. I think JJ's good.
Yeah, they just. I mean, the Bears still have to put it together. Like, I'm not saying they're going to be bad, and I'm not saying they're going to be good. They just got to put it together, and some teams can do that, some teams can't. Look at the Nashville.
I think
Predators
the
this year.
Commanders are for real. I think they're going to still be good, even though they won a bunch of close games.
The Commanders.
mean,
Who did you say?
The
The
fact
Commanders.
that
Commanders.
the fact that the Commanders got Trey Amos at pick like 61 or 63 is the most criminal steal of the draft.
Dude, the fact that the Commanders got Javon Kinlaw for 3 years, $45 million is the biggest steal of any deal I've ever seen. I'm so impressed. I'm glad for that.
I do think though, you guys think the Rams are just gonna like coast to first place? We ought to realize Matthew Stafford's old, and who's their backup? Jimmy G. So
And he's
Like,
he's good for
dude,
rolling
Jimmy
his
G's a
ankle
great quarterback.
twice. No, Stafford's good to roll his ankle twice a year.
That's
like,
true.
so-
Guaranteed.
you
They're an
never
older
know.
team. Adams is
And,
older.
Yeah,
Like,
Puka Nakuma's a great player.
yes,
flat
he's
out.
unreal.
yes.
Flat out.
Yeah, he's unreal.
What
Kyron
about the
Williams is,
Seahawks? We just totally. I mean, what about if they get Milrow in there? I'm excited to see what they look like with Milrow.
Of course you are. right when the Seahawks drafted Milrow, I was like, oh my gosh, Grant Cohn. That's literally the first
Feels
person I
like
thought
this
about.
is where football is going. You have 2 types of offenses: the Kyle offense, which is great because you get the intermediate passes over the middle, which lead to explosive plays. Problem is, I feel like those are where the interceptions come from because there's more bodies in the middle of the field. What's nice about the Philadelphia style of offense, it's rudimentary. It's just RPOs and deep shots, essentially.
Mhm.
Very little interceptions. It's a bunch of dinks and dunks. It's a bunch of running the ball, and then when a defense overcommits, you take a shot down the field, or you have a guy run a deep comeback. That's essentially the Eagles' offense, and it works because it's low risk.
It also works when you have a Saquon Barkley in the
That too.
backfield. And a guy like Jalen Hurts who can run the ball. I'm not like obviously Milrow can run the ball, but do you really think
I kind of
Jalen
like
Milrow
Kenneth
and
Walker. I kind
I
of
did
like Kenneth
too. I did
Walker.
too.
Yeah.
But do you really think Jalen
Milrow and Kenneth
Milrow
Walker.
and Kenneth Walker, there you go, are gonna demand the same kind of respect and be as good as Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley?
No, not necessarily, but I think they'll be really good. I mean, damn, dude. Jalen Milrow is a better runner, in my opinion, than Jalen Hurts, although he's got to prove it in the NFL level. And of course, there's no running back better than Barkley, but I really do like Walker. It'll be interesting to see what he looks like with a dual threat quarterback. But we don't need to talk about the Seahawks for that much because I think people are leaving right now. I'm sorry. We're sorry for talking about the Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't know. Screw the Seahawks. No one likes to talk about the Seahawks. Like
Jalen
Milrow, Grant, I think you're too high on Jalen Milrow. Yeah, he's fast.
Let's talk about basketball.
Like Jalen Milrow is just fast. That's it.
I'm surprised that they put Jalen Milrow in that Clint Kubiak wanted him. I would think he'd be more in like the Philadelphia Eagles. Coaching tree. I'm like, what is Clint Kubiak going to do with him? I mean, is he going to show Kyle Shanahan how it's done, how to develop a mobile quarterback?
He probably got sick and tired of, the Jimmy G, the Brocks, the Derek Carrs. Like, he's probably just tired of it.
Clint Kubiak did get a year with Taysom Hill, who I just want to say is a damn good football player. So he had a good, I mean, I'm not saying he's a starting quarterback, but he's a cool player to have on your team. Yeah. And Clint Kubiak, was exposed to him and how to pause and how to use him, pause. And sorry, but maybe he's taking some of that creativity with him. There you go to Seattle. Yeah. So interesting to see.
We'll see.
Also, I felt like the Packers did a good job with Malik Willis last year, and they're in the Shanahan tree.
Speaking of that, can you imagine like if Maj's theory is right about the 1 year rental, why wouldn't the Packers trade for George Pickens?
Exactly. It's a 1 year rent. The Cowboys, I'm telling you right now, this Cowboys trade, stupid. Everyone's going to say, oh, you're an idiot. No, it's stupid. It's a 1 year rental, and you just gave up a 3rd and a 5th round pick. It's stupid for a guy that's a D.
I would imagine the stories about George Pickens aren't great. Like the level of
probably insane.
I would imagine
they're probably insane.
And a team like the Packers probably is like, we don't need that. Team like the Cowboys probably like, oh my God, you're famous. We could sell your jersey. Let's go. Yes.
Like Grant, George Pickens is the type of player, if CeeDee Lamb gets more receptions in a game than him, watch out. Watch out. George Pickens is going to D1 crash out. It's over.
I can't wait for it. It's going to be great. It'll be Dak trying to hold it all together. All right. NBA playoffs. Curry's out for about a week. Grade 1 hamstring strain. Kind of sucks. But they smacked the T-Wolves anyway. Not that I'm rooting for the Warriors. I like watching the Curry era. It's coming to an end soon. And it could come to an end in the next week. What do you guys think? Are the Warriors going to pull out this series? Who's going to win?
Raptors in 4. I don't really know. Listen, am I the only one that just feels basketball isn't the same anymore? Like,
why do you always just jump in when you have nothing to say? You always do that. Like, can I just say that I don't know the answer to this question?
No, I'm just saying, like,
we can talk hockey after. How about we'll talk hockey after?
No, I'm just saying basketball's not the same anymore. It's not.
I like basketball during the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. T-Wolves and
yes. The thing I hate about I'll answer your question first.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
So, I do think they beat the T-Wolves because I think they match up well with the T-Wolves. Like, the games will be different. Like, and you'll have to kind of weather the storm, so to speak. But I do think they still have a chance to win Game 2 without Steph. And Game 3, Game 3 you'll be back in San Fran. So, that's possible. But Anthony Edwards is going to have better games than he had last night. Like, he played horribly until the last couple minutes of the game, realistically, right?
He's nobody healed, but he's pretty good. I think he should bounce back.
Anthony Edwards is insane. Let's stop that. Buddy Hield is having a revival of his career right
now. No, I'm just joking. What I want to say, though, is I feel that this is why the Warriors got Jimmy Butler. Not just to be like the Robin to Steph's Batman, but to carry the team for a week or two if Steph were to go down. He's old, and Jimmy has gone to to the finals
by himself.
By himself.
Yes.
I mean, he's
By
done
himself.
this before.
Yeah.
So I think there should be. I still think the Warriors are going to win this series. I felt like the Wolves felt not just like they weren't ready for game one because the Rockets weren't either. They felt poorly coached. That guy, who is that guy? His body language was terrible. He was like the whole time. He was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" It's like, then call a timeout and say something, buddy. What do you want us to do for you? Udoka at least looks cool on the sideline. He's like pissed and he's like intense. This guy looked like he wanted to throw up. So I didn't feel good about it. And then on the court, I felt like the Timberwolves would just stand and watch Anthony Edwards. They would just stand there. I don't know. They looked weak, soft. I felt like the Rockets are a much better team than them.
For me, I'm going to say you guys
You don't watch basketball.
No, but listen. I know something.
He's literally
Grant,
wearing an NBA jersey, too. That's the funniest thing about
Come
this
on.
all.
Grant, all I'm going to say is Anthony Edwards in the playoffs is a different breed. I'm sorry. I'm going to go Wolves in 6. Oh, your chat's going to hate me now. It's going to hate me
Watch
more.
just comes out of nowhere. I'm going to say this, Wolves in 6.
Look, can I just say that I don't watch basketball, but Anthony Edwards in the playoffs is a different breed.
He is. No, last year when I watched him, didn't they go to the finals last year? They did, right? No. They got knocked out by Luka.
No, they didn't go.
That's what it was.
But would they go to the championship? Did they lose to the? I don't watch basketball either. Apparently,
I don't remember. Okay, can I? Let me get back to my point that I was saying before I decided who was going to win the series. The fact that I go to bet on the NBA games and you have a minus 800 Grant in the playoffs. The Celtics are minus 800 to win. Are we serious?
Wow.
I think they're losing right now too, or
Like
they
if
lost.
I go to hockey, if I go to the hockey games tonight, there's a minus 150 and a minus 110.
oh wow,
Celtics lost.
Interesting.
Like that's why I like playoff hockey because they're actually fighting to the death and the games are always like nail biters. Whereas you go to basketball and you're like, I should never see a 50, 60 point blowout in the NBA playoffs, but I've seen 4 of them already.
Yeah, but they're all Canadian.
No,
they're not.
There's
That's
some
true. There's some
great
aren't Canadian.
USA guys. Jack
That's true.
Eichel,
I hadn't thought of
Austin
that.
Matthews.
That's
There's
true.
some great.
I got to give
Matt
hockey another
Boldy.
chance now that I know that.
Dude.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's 7 o'clock on the West Coast. I gotta go. This has been our best show yet, guys. Wonderful job. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
This is the tough part of the offseason. This is
dude. We're doing great. Next week we'll have Rookie Minicamp talk about.